Alright guys, welcome back. So 2025 should be a pretty big year for Grand Cross in terms of collaborations. We have 3 more slots left of the year, and Netmarble has not once but twice now kind of gone out the way to say, hey guys, I know this collaboration, the first rerun, was a rerun, but this year we're going to focus on new worlds and new IPs to introduce into every single Grand Cross, which does mean we are expecting 3 new IPs to come towards the game leading towards the end of the year. And we got some new beta leaks. Yes, beta, this is not guaranteed to confirmed. However, with our beta leaks, guys, this is what we're expecting. At least 2 out of 3 of them we're expecting to come this year, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I do hope, if anything, the beta leaks are kind of wrong. And allow me to explain. Stranger Things was kind of a weird collaboration. In fact, it's kind of known in the anime community, at least if you search it up, as the worst collaboration ever in any gacha game, which is crazy, right? But I think one thing, and that one thing when I was cool about Stranger Things, is that people kind of got into the game because of it. But generally speaking, that was one of my best months, if not my best month on Grand Cross YouTube at the time. Maybe because also we got a ReZero collaboration 2 weeks before or after, depending on what version you played. But I think the coolest thing about the Stranger Things collaboration was it was a big surprise. If you follow this channel, every single collaboration we've gotten, while some of them I do definitely enjoy, are most of the time expected. Other than Stranger Things, every single collaboration we've gotten, and even the ones we're going to talk about in a few minutes now, every other gacha game gets it, right? Like, if you look at our collaborations and you've played a lot of gacha games, you know you've played another gacha game with a ReZero collaboration. You've probably played with a Slime. You've probably played a few with Meshoga Tensei, Overlord. All of these anime IPs get passed around every single community, and while that doesn't take away from the collab, sometimes they're expected, and it does, like, okay, finally we got it right. And that's kind of the case with the 2 other anime IPs we're going to talk about in a few minutes now. But let's talk about the new beta leak. So this was posted a few days ago now, which does say here are 3 emojis that are teasing, or at least hinting towards the 3 anime IPs we're going to be getting later this year. It does say that this could be changed, but it's very likely the real deal. In what order the collaboration will come is unknown, so the order could obviously change here. The first one is just an elf, which, to be fair, can mean a lot of things. We'll talk about in a second. Then we have up, and also a bird. We'll just jump straight towards the elephant in the room. The up and also bird is heavily indicating, and once again, expected, guys, solo leveling and also Shangri-La Frontier. But the one I'm interested in, and this is possibly going to be our biggest collab of the year, is the elf. Now, what could the elf mean? I'll talk about the one that is probably not, but I want to speak about it anyway, and that is Emilia or ReZero. She is an elf. It could be heading towards a ReZero collaboration. They are now just streaming or airing season 3. I do think if we are going to be getting a ReZero collaboration, it would be towards the end of the year, because I assume that if Netmarble wants to base off the new season, which means the season has to kind of finish before they start doing it, or maybe they just get characters like Subaru. Like, there's a lot of stuff they can do. In fact, I think if we were to get a rerun, I would love to see a new Emilia, especially with her new power-ups that she's been doing the new season. It'd be very, very cool to get her as playable. But considering that Netmarble is going out the way to say we're getting new collabs this year, it's probably more likely not going to be ReZero, even though I would love to see it. But let's move on. The only other elves I could see this collaboration being, and we'll talk about both of them, is Frieren and also Dungeon Meshi, which I would love either of these collaborations. I'll talk about Dungeon Meshi first because I'm definitely leaning more towards Frieren. However, I also wouldn't mind a Dungeon Meshi collaboration. So the reason why I'm saying Dungeon Meshi is because, one, it is a elf. You got Marcel, and it's kind of in the same situation as our past collaborations, where a lot of anime IPs and gacha games are now getting, or starting to get, the Dungeon Meshi collaboration. For example, I believe they did one recently with another Netmarble owned IP, being Seven Nights Idle Adventure. They literally got the 4 main characters. I believe they're now doing one with Arc Knights, and I think they did one previously with another anime IP that I kind of forgot. So in terms of the possibility for getting it, guys, it's very, very high. In fact, it might even be more likely than the Frieren collaboration, just because it does have a little bit of ties towards Netmarble, where Frieren, once again, is starting to handle the IP. They did one with Slime. I believe they're doing another one with Guardian Tales. I think they've already done it. But the reason why I'm leaning more towards Frieren, even though I'd love a actual Dungeon Meshi collaboration, I absolutely love that anime. Season 2 just got announced. I'm actually gassed for it. Is for one leak we got a while ago that people have kind of forgotten. Now, this was official leaks, not beta. This is from Regions. Regions also leaked that we're going to be getting a new collaboration with 3 units. Now, that's kind of a bad thing because we haven't got a new collaboration since Tower God, and that was the first collaboration to introduce 3 characters rather than 4. Now, I haven't watched Tower God. I don't know if they picked those 3 just because that's like the best free. But when we talk about like Dungeon Meshi, for example, I feel like if you're gonna get a Dungeon Meshi collaboration, you have to do the 4 main characters, like how they did it on 7 Nights Idle Adventure. And every single time you see a Dungeon Meshi collaboration, it's always been with 4 characters because you have to add the main squad. So this being leaked as 3 units rather than 4, it's, if anything, to me, deconfirming it, it's not Dungeon Meshi. But what about like Solo Leveling or Shangri-La Frontier, where they do say here, the characters is apparently 1 unknown, 2 humans, and 1 will have a passive to disable abilities. Kind of ignore that possibility because that could be changed, but, you know, 1 unknown, 2 humans. If you correlate that towards, obviously, Solo Leveling, if it is Solo Leveling coming this year, I believe while they do go into a game, they could be classes unknown, but I think if anything, they're all guaranteed to be humans. And also same for Shangri-La Frontier. The kind of same situation. They go into a game, they're all human. There's a bunny character that could be playable, but I think that might be a part of the main character's kit, but still be 1 unknown. I guess it could be good to humans, but I think that's more likely to be 3 humans, right? So that kind of goes back towards Frieren, and Frieren I think kind of fits this theme too much to not be true. You have Frieren, the unknown character, Stark, and also Fun, you know, 2 humanoid characters. I will say I will be a little bit disappointed if the 3 characters we get are just those 3, because I would love to see a 4 character, whether that be Himmel, Ubel, the old man, I forgot his name, where he could literally just be brawling, just throwing fists and hands in game. That'd be super sick as well. There's a lot, like, there's so many good characters in Frieren that I would love to see be the 4th one, but, you know, if we're only going to get 3, it makes sense to be just them 3, right? So yeah, I do think this elf one is kind of teasing the fact we're going to get Frieren or Dungeon Meshi. 1 and 2, but also I do think these are very likely collaborations, as once again in the community they are passing it around quite often, so can I expect to see 1 of these 2 collaborations. And I do think Frieren is possibly the biggest anime collab we can ever get in Grand Cross. It's like, what's bigger than this? You can argue, you know, Shonen Jump stuff like JJK, you know, One Piece, right? But those are basically impossible. They're not expected, where I think Frieren is actually likely and probably the biggest one we can get. And in the other 2 collaborations we spoke about in the channel already in the past, but we once again are expecting to see these 2 collaborations. Solo Leveling and Shangri-La Frontier. If you don't know, the reason why we got Tower of God, the reason why we got King of Fighters, is because Netmarble has previously made a game for those, being Solo Leveling and Arise, and coming out some point in the future, probably not this year, next year, 2026, we're going to be getting a Shangri-La Frontier game, once again made by Netmarble. So yeah, that's kind of why they're expected. It's kind of funny as well, even though I don't really think they have any correlation, but Shangri-La Frontier and Solo Leveling, the animes did a collaboration. So yeah, that's just, it's the most obvious collaboration to get. Which is kind of why I want to go back to what I said early on with Stranger Things, where I hope 1 of these are wrong. While I don't mind them, I think Solo Leveling will be hype in the game. People will love it. It's a really big anime IP. And also Shangri-La Frontier, I actually really like it. I haven't finished season 2 yet, but I really do like it. I would love to see it in games. Sunraku as like a character will be sick, especially if he gets like unique animation, but he gets the guaranteed crits, but it's the crits from the game rather than the crits from Grand Cross. They could cook so much of that collaboration. And as much as I want it in game, I also wouldn't mind if 1 of these 2 collaborations are wrong, and instead we get something that we're not expecting, or at least less expecting, like Konosuba. And while I haven't watched Evanescence Shadow, and I'll probably watch it before it comes out, if we are going to get collaboration for it, it would be more surprised to see that in the game, more so than Shangri-La Frontier or Solo Leveling. Even though I think an Evanescence Shadow collaboration would be probably worse, but more unexpected, which might make it a bit more hype. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, guys, that's probably going to wrap up the video. Let me know what you're expecting for a collaboration this year, at least of the hints we've gotten so far, and what collaboration you want to see out of the 3 we just named. I do think collaborations need to go a bit more harder this year in terms of like actual IPs, but also hopefully make it a bit better rather than just releasing 2 characters and just calling it a day. I want to see some big changes when it comes to those collabs and just put more love into it, man. I'll probably make another video about it later on, but if you look at what other anime collabs are doing in other gacha games, you can tell there's so much love being put into them, where for us it really feels like they've not been putting too much love into it. But it might be because we'd be getting more reruns and all they do is release 2 new characters, where if it's a whole new collab, it might be a bit different. Little side note, but I really do hope it is Dungeon Meshi, just for the fact that if we do get a boss fight, it's more likely going to be Fallon in a dragon form, which I don't think will be playable. It'll be pretty sick if it is, though, but it'll be such a cool boss, bro. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you for watching, and yeah, we'll see you in 2 months' time, because at the end of this month, so in 2 weeks' time, we should be getting a new seasonal festival that might be more likely Ragnarok, and then 1 month later, we'll be getting a new collaboration right before the JP anniversary or the anniversary of Grand Cross. So it's going to be a pretty big one. I'd say probably more like Solo Leveling. So guys, thank you for watching, and yeah.